When I was 7 years old, I could barely speak English. I threw a tantrum every time I had to go to school. I was pretty much useless. On the other hand, Raisa Leal, or I think it's pronounced Raisa Leal, I don't speak Portuguese, so forgive me. Raisa Leal from Brazil completed a heel flip in a princess costume that was captured on video, and it went viral. Now personally, I don't know a single thing about the skateboarding world, so a heel flip at 7 years old, I don't know like in the greater context what that actually means. Is it like a 12-year-old dunking? I don't know, I have no idea. But I'm assuming it was impressive. Now Leal wasn't a one-hit wonder. At 15 years old, so 8 years later, she actually won the silver medal at the Tokyo Olympics. So she's basically achieved more than I have my entire life at 15 years old. And now she's about to have her own Nike SB Dunk. Raisa Leal, Nike SB Dunk Low. Now the shoe is dropping on March 19th at select retailers for $125. And then on March 20th, it's dropping on sneakers in the United States. This is not a women's exclusive. Now, if any shoe should be a women's exclusive, it should probably be a Nike SB Dunk Low in collaboration with a female athlete. I just don't really understand, but it's not a women's exclusive. Now, first impressions of the shoe, I like the white base layer. I think the colors of the overlays are pretty nice. The blue is nice. The purple is a bit out there for me. I don't really usually wear that color. If I wore purple, it'd be a darker shade, a much darker shade. But yeah, everything else, it's pretty nice. I do like gum bottoms as well. Overall, I think this is a pretty nice colorway. Not like absolutely crazy, nothing that I get too excited over, but yeah, overall, it's pretty nice. And the materials on this shoe, it is very interesting. So the base layer, like on the toe box, it is leather. And the leather, it's pretty soft, but it has that kind of coating, that shinier coating that I don't really love. It's not like the best leather ever or anything. You see this debossed pattern that is actually debossed in the pattern of smiley faces. So that's very, very interesting. The use of smiley faces is to represent her very positive attitude. And then on the swoosh itself, it is leather as well. Now the swoosh is mismatched on the lateral and medial side of the shoe. So on the lateral side, it's blue. Flip it around, it's purple. However, on the overlays where you see the graphics and the print, that is actually suede. And the suede, it feels pretty average, not like the best suede ever. And I can't really tell, for the life of me, exactly what those graphics are meant to represent. On Nike.com's description, it just says, and I quote, "Pulling from her favorite colors and contest designs, it sets the scene with materials and graphic elements personal to Raisa's journey." I really wish they would just give some examples because, yeah, I just can't quite tell. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe other people can, but it's not that obvious. The smiley face is obvious, but the overlays is a bit more harder to tell. And moving on to the tongue, a pretty standard Nike SB tongue. So the tongue is slightly fatter with more padding than a non-SB Dunk. And then the laces are also fatter as well. Now what's special about this tongue in particular, the tag at the top, it is branded. And now inside the tongue, you'll see another smiley face and also the country of origin, made in Vietnam. And another place where that's branded is her logo at the heel of the shoe. And then on the booty of the shoe, it's not mismatched branding like you see on a lot of collaborations. Just Nike branding on that suede patch. And the eyelets on the bottom very distinctly. You see these three kind of beads with smiley faces on them, so more branding there. And the Nike SB Dunk Low comes with a rubber cup sole with a Zoom Air on the heel. That is one difference between the SB Dunk and non-SB Dunk. The non-SB Dunk does not have a Zoom Air on the heel. This one, because it's meant for skateboarding, it does. And another difference is on the outsole. So you see this beautiful gum outsole. Not like dark brown gum, more of a lighter shade of gum outsole. Still looks very nice. The outsole pattern, there's more concentric circles on the SB Dunk versus the non-SB Dunk. Again, that's for more friction, so you can actually grip to the skateboard easier. And just a fun fact, this concentric circle pattern that originated from the Nike Air Force Ones, that was made for basketball players. Basketball players pivot a lot, so that pattern was meant to make it easier to pivot. And thankfully the cup sole of this shoe, it is white, not sale, not pre-aged for absolutely no reason. There's no reason to pre-age the sole on this shoe, so I'm glad they kept it white. And another difference between the SB and non-SB Dunk is that on the SBs, there's that elastic band, so it prevents the tongue from like sliding around when you're skateboarding. So that's a subtle difference there. And then on the insole of the shoe, it is branded as well. This one is blue, the other one comes in that purple color. The logo, as well as more smiley faces, and then you'll see that Zoom Air unit. And the shoe does feature 2 extra set of laces. That's pretty common for SB collaborations. So one in that purple color and one in that blue color. Out of the 3, I think I still prefer the white laces that just comes out of the box. I think it looks a little bit more cleaner. Second choice would be the blue. I think the purple is just a bit too much for me. White or blue laces, I think it looks really nice. Now, speaking of the laces, one thing I do have to mention is that when I swap the laces, just getting these beads off the laces, I thought I was gonna rip the laces. It was tough. It was tough to get it past the tips. Oh, I don't want to do that again. It was rough. I do not like it. And the fibers of the laces start like coming off a little bit, so it got all over my pants. It was just a mess. And it is still the sale box era for Nike SB Dunks, so standard sale Nike SB box. And in terms of sizing and comfort for Nike SB Dunks, I usually go true to size. I do have wide feet, but true to size works pretty well for me. There is a break-in period, I feel like, for wide footers, especially around the toe box area. You do need to give it more time, but I still recommend just going true to size. And overall, comfort-wise, I think it is slightly more comfortable than a non-SB Dunk. There's slightly more padding on the SB Dunks. The zoom here makes a bit of a difference. I don't skateboard, so I don't really like feel it athletically. I wear the shoe casually. The cupsole is obviously very old. It's got some weight to it, from the Jordan 1s to the Air Force 1s. All uses that rubber cupsole, so that's not the best, but overall, it does the job. And that brings the total sole score of the Racer Leal Nike SB Dunk Low to 34 out of 50. Pretty average score compared to other collaborations. Now first, it's colorway. I generally like the colors on the shoe, but that purple is just personally a bit too much for me. I like the gum, I like the white, I like the blue, the gray is not too bad, but just mixed together, yeah, it's not like my favorite colorway. Now in terms of the materials, I think the leather is pretty soft. I don't like that coating that they put over it, that shinier type of coating. The suede overlays, it's not the best suede. So overall, the materials, especially compared to like the U-Toe Dunks, I think the Nubuck and materials on those are nicer. The Born and Raised Dunks, materials on those are much nicer. Like, look at these. So generally, not like the best materials, but it's not like complete garbage. In terms of the comfort, the Nike SB Dunks are slightly more comfortable than a non-SB Dunk, better than like an Air Force 1, which are just complete takeaway boxes on your feet. So it's a pretty comfortable shoe, especially for like casual use. I can't comment on how it is for skateboarding because I don't skateboard myself, but if you're just walking around in these, no complaints at all. Now in terms of the versatility, the silhouette, obviously super versatile. For casual use, it's perfect. But in terms of the colors, it's not the most wearable, mainly because I think that purple is just bright and very loud, but the other colors are pretty wearable. It is a versatile shoe, but yeah, that purple is just, it's a little bit too much. And the eyelets, that is a lot too. Now in terms of the storytelling, there's a lot of branding to the shoe, but personally, and maybe I'm missing something because I can't really exactly tell what the overlays are referencing. Nike.com completely fails at describing what those graphical elements refers to. So it's just a bit confusing, contrasted to the U-Toe Dunk Nike.com description that actually told you about the cherry blossom inspiration, the Japanese inspiration. It even had the Japanese artist that designed the insoles. For this shoe, Nike.com just doesn't put in enough effort to like really tell the story. The most obvious one is the smiley face, which reflects your personality and attitude, but I really would have loved just a little bit more clarity and maybe a little bit of Brazilian flair in terms of the green and gold, their country's colors, but overall, I think the storytelling is pretty well done. Last year, there were some really nice SB Dunks. Now, I'm not even a big dunk guy, but the U-Toe Dunks, the Born and Raised, of course, the Doritos, that is like my favorite ever, the April Skateboards Dunks. And fun fact, April Skateboards actually sponsors Leal. This is the first dunk that I've got in 2024, and even though I think, just in terms of the colorway, just in a vacuum, I don't like this one as much as the ones that I just mentioned, but I can't deny that at 15 years old, everything she's accomplished, super impressive. But that's it, thanks for watching, Soul Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Racer Leal Nike SB Dunk Low. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.